We are hearing today from the Wisconsin governor after somebody illegally brought a gun into the state capitol demanding to see him, and then incredibly came back 2 hours later with an assault rifle. The governor was not in the building at the time, but here's what he had to say not long before we came on the air.
The Capitol Police took control of the situation, and so it's over. But yeah, it's always something that is things you don't want to see happen.
So some context here. Guns are actually allowed in the state capitol in Madison if they're concealed and the person has a valid permit. But this person's gun was visible. It was in a holster. So he was arrested. He posted bail, came back with the assault rifle, was taken into custody again, and then taken to the hospital. Jesse Kirsch is joining us now. What happened here? How did this happen? And do we know anything about the suspect here?
Yes, so Hallie, a couple more details that are bizarre, frankly, around these circumstances. Officials from the state of Wisconsin say that when this man approached the governor's office in the Wisconsin state capitol, he apparently was shirtless. You mentioned he had a holstered handgun, and officials say he also had a leashed dog. He demanded to see the governor, and as you mentioned, he was arrested, his weapon taken away. Then hours later, the man had, according to officials, bailed himself out of jail, and hours later, he came back to the Capitol's exterior. This time, he had a loaded AK-47 style rifle, and authorities say that when police did a search of his backpack, they then found what is being described as a collapsible police-style baton, and it is illegal, officials say, for him to have had that because he did not have a permit for concealed carry of that weapon. So he then later on, according to officials, was taken into custody for a psychiatric evaluation. So this is an hours-long series of events. We're told the governor was not at the Capitol at the time of this, Hallie. And another point to bring up, there are no metal detectors at the state Capitol.
It's not the first time that that we've seen, a potential threat against a public official here, not even in Wisconsin. Is there any indication that the security footprint is going to change at the Capitol or around the governor himself?
Yeah, no immediate changes as far as we know, Hallie. And the governor was asked about this earlier. Here's part of what he said.
I never, ever talk about what my security detail does or what they're planning on doing. But anytime something like this happens, obviously they reevaluate.
Now, as you mentioned, this is not the first time there have been threats, including against Governor Evers. In 2022, last year, his name was allegedly part of a hit list that also included Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell and Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer, who, of course, has faced a series of threats, and there were multiple trials surrounding the alleged threats to that governor. Hallie?
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.